Hey everybody, what is up? This is Kirsten here. Thank you so much for joining me on this brand new episode of the Balanced Vibes podcast. Today we're talking about 7 best core strength exercises that you should be doing if you want to have a strong, healthy, functional core. Of course, everybody always wants to get abs, and I feel like this is the biggest thing in the fitness industry altogether, right? Of course, there's also sculpted shoulders and round butts, but abs is always the first thing, and I think this is also for men and women, right? Versus like men maybe usually are focusing more on the chest, and women more on their butt, but core and the abs is something that everybody is after, and everybody wants to have lean and ripped abs. So first of all, of course, when we have visible abs, and I'm going to talk about a little bit in a second if it's always even necessary, but if you want to have visible lean abs like that six pack or whatever, then it's not only about exercise. Definitely your diet has to be on point too, and you cannot be eating like calorie surplus. You cannot be overeating. You cannot be random with your diet. You have to be pretty dialed in if you want to have really like lean, visible, jacked, super hot looking abs. Now, that said, I don't think that this is always even necessary. It might be weird like hearing this from a fitness professional, but I don't think that everybody's meant to have super lean abs, and I don't think that this should be everybody's goal at all, because there are several things that can happen. So let's say for somebody it's really like they want to have lean abs, and for this body type, for this person, they have to have really low body fat percentage for that to happen. So now that can come with some unhealthy side effects, right? When we start taking our body fat percentage down super low just in order to see the abs, then this is not healthy place to be, because we know that that can come with a lot of hormonal issues, for example, and that can come with a lot of starvation. So a lot of times it's just too much work, and it's like too much, too unhealthy to pursue this super lean abs goal. But I'm also not saying that not that everybody who has lean visible abdominal muscles is starving themselves or have terrible hormonal imbalances. So there are definitely people, and I know them personally, who have that really nice ab definition, and they're not doing anything extreme. They're eating healthy, their periods are normal, they don't have like huge amounts of stress. It's also part of it is also genetics. So I just want to mention that don't get super obsessed with having like six pack abs. If this is your goal, if your body allows, if it is possible, okay, cool, try it out, see how it is. But I also want you to think about the functionality of it, because what does having strong core give us? It gives us a lot of strength and a lot of stability, so that you can also do your other lifts better. And of course, you are going to look better, because it is possible to also have more ab definition. Even if your body fat percentage is a little bit higher, you may not look like super lean, but you can still have visible results. You just have to do the right exercises. Now, one thing that definitely makes getting like leaner abdominal muscles harder is that when you have a lot of stress. And we talked about it in a hormone episode, which was episode number 150, understanding your hormones for fat loss. And what I said there, and still say, of course, is that if you have high level of stress, and it doesn't matter what type of stress it really is, we are really good at also self-creating internal stress. Your body is still flooded with stress hormones, and it's really difficult to lose belly fat like that. And when we are highly stressed, then it's very common that the fat likes to accumulate in the midsection. So if you want to have more of that definition, and you feel like you're already doing the right exercises, then look at your stress also. This has to be managed, because there are many reasons why you cannot have the good visible core muscles when you are under high stress. So go back and check out that episode 150, where I talked about it a little bit more. So now, what to keep in mind when you are training your core muscles? First thing is what you should not be doing, and that is doing like a million crunches, just like high number of reps just to do a high number of reps. And I don't remember who it was. I think it was Britney Spears or another celebrity who said that they're doing, like years ago, that they're doing like 8,000 sit-ups a day or something ridiculous like that. And this is, first of all, I don't think this is true. Who has the time for it? And secondly, this is really an effective way to go about it. So don't do it. There are better ways to do it. I'm going to give you later 7 really good core exercises that you can start using and get better results than doing like 8,000 sit-ups a day. The second thing to keep in mind when you're training your core muscles is to slow way down. And this is different from what we are used to doing, because usually we have this like very boot camp circuit type of thinking, right? Let's do a bunch of stuff real quick, just breeze through the exercise, moving on to the next thing. We're thinking that if we did a high number and we felt that burn, that now this was the right thing to do, but it really isn't. So what you want to pay attention to when you're doing your core work is that you actually slow your reps way down so that you can actually feel what your muscle is doing. And we've talked about it when we talked about other exercise too. You really want to feel the muscle, because why are you doing it otherwise? So when you're doing, let's say, your deadlifts and you don't feel anything in your hamstrings or your back muscles at all, then or you do a squat and you don't feel it in your quads or glutes at all, then something's off. Something is not working there. And so now with abs too, when you just don't feel like you did anything, then something's not working. You have to slow your reps down to actually feel the muscles. Another thing that is important to know, that yes, while those specific core exercises, ab exercises, are important, then the big lifts also strengthen the core really well. So there are a lot of people who actually don't do any of the specific ab work, and they just do like really heavy deadlifts. One of the best things you can do is pause deadlifts, where you literally pause halfway up your deadlifts, and then you do heavy squats. Because can you imagine doing those lifts and not using your core? Of course you use your core. You have to engage your core. You have to tighten. You have to kind of get that tension in your abs going if you want to do those lifts well. And you notice that if you don't engage your core, you're not able to lift that much. Same thing is even true for overhead press. Of course you're going to use your core. You have to stabilize. So the core is working every time you do a big lift. And like I said, there are people who don't do ab specific work as well. And honestly, I'm really bad at this as well. I am doing it right now because I am following another trainer's program, because sometimes you just want to do other people's programs and it feels good. You don't have to think about it. You trust somebody else to put this together for you. So this feels kind of nice. And there are core exercises in there, and I just have to do them. Otherwise, I would be really lazy and I would be just relying on deadlifts and squats and all that kind of stuff. Back in the day when I had a good training partner, it was fun because he was really all about core training, and I definitely got my butt kicked every time when we worked out together. So if you're listening to this, Derek, good times. I miss those. But now I'm on my own and I have to do the core workouts on my own. Okay, so now let's talk about the 7 exercises that are really good for strengthening your core and you want to start incorporating in your training. And after I have told you what they are, I'm also going to tell you how exactly to do them, how to program them into your current workouts. So first exercise that works really well is the reverse crunch. And I'm going to also describe a little bit all of them a little bit so that you can get an idea. If you already know what it is, cool. And also there are videos linked in the bottom of this video in the description. If you watch it on YouTube, you can also see what these exercises look like. So reverse crunch, you can do it on the bench or you can also do it on the floor. So essentially you're lying down on your back, you have your knees bent and close to your chest, and then you're just going to slowly roll yourself up, bring your knees closer up, and then slowly roll back down. So this is a reverse crunch. The second one would be the V sit-up. So V sit-up is where you're lying down on the floor, arms and legs extended overhead, and then you're going to lift up your arms and legs together at the same time. So what I see a lot of times happening is like the upper body's coming up just a little bit and legs are coming up all the way up. So you want to do it evenly and equally so that you meet in the middle. And also one mistake that I see often is that one leg wants to come up before the other one. So keep your feet together, ankles together, and then lift everything up and meet in the middle. Arms and legs meet in the middle. And don't rush here at all. So try to really feel the tension in your abs as you're doing this. And of course, this is true for every single exercise that I mentioned. The third one, and for this one, you're going to need a cable machine at the gym, or you can have a long resistance band. And the exercise is a cable twist or band twist. So essentially what it looks like is that your band or your cable is coming from the side and you're holding it with your straight arms right in front of you. And then you're going to twist, right? So you're going to turn away from that cable or that band, you're going to turn slowly. So this is working more your obliques, the sides of your belly. And so here also, I want you to control the movement so that also when you're coming back, let's say you twisted, you turned, and now you're coming back, you do also that slowly. You don't like just bounce back quickly to your starting position. So here too, slow your rep way down, twist, turn to one direction, and then slowly come back and really feel it in your obliques. The next thing that I really like is hanging knees to chest. So you can hang from a bar. Most gyms have a place where you can do that. It can be like a pull-up bar. And then you're going to bring your knees to chest and get them really close to your chest. And the common mistake here that I see is that people just start doing it really quickly and also swinging. So you want to minimize any swinging, and you just using your abdominal muscles to slowly pull the knees up, and then pause there for a second, and then straighten the legs again. And if you feel like you're swinging, you can even like touch your feet down for a second so that you stop that swinging, and then you repeat the exercise. The next one that I really like is ab wheel. So you probably have seen it, the ab wheel. Most gyms have it. It's also really cheap. You can buy it and use it at home. So you're going to do obviously rollouts with it. So you're going to start on your knees, and then with your both hands, you're holding the ab wheel, and then you're rolling out as far as you can, and then you're rolling back up. And especially the back up portion, you really want to push that ab wheel into the floor to really engage the core. And this honestly gets everybody sore. Like the first time they do it, they're like, oh my goodness, I really felt this. And if you want to make things a little bit more fun, you can do it laterally. So what I explained before or first was you're going straight out, and then the second option is to go sideways. So you're going to twist and turn, you go to one side, come back, and then you turn to the other side. So it's like a ladder, almost like lateral sideways ab wheel. Now, 2 more exercises that you should be doing. The first is long lever balance ball crunch. This is one of the hardest core exercises that you could do, in my opinion, if you do it correctly. If you do it incorrectly, it feels like nothing, kind of like plank. But this one is really difficult to do. But the idea is that you have your physio ball or balance ball or Swiss ball, they're also called, and then you're going to lie down so that your mid-back is on the ball. And now you want to lift your hips up and keep your hips up. So the common mistake is let the butt kind of fall, and then now you're only working your hip flexors essentially. So you want to keep your hips up, engage everything there, and then you're going to extend your arms overhead, and now you're going to roll up so that you keep your arms right, by your ears basically, so that the arms don't come all the way up, but the arms are by your ears. And now you're doing a crunch, and you feel every single muscle in your abs. I promise you that. And this one, I mean, it depends how much experience you have with it, but I could never do this probably more than, let's say, 10 reps if I'm really focused on it. And you do it slowly, you will 100% you will feel it. And the last exercise that I absolutely love is a hollow body hold. So this is something that's really commonly known in gymnastics, of course. So basically what you do is you lie down, arms and legs extended, arms overhead, and then you press your back down, right? So that you can imagine if somebody tried to slide their hand under your back, it wouldn't be possible because your back is down on the floor, really close to it. And then you're going to lift up your arms and legs and point your toes and keep that full body tension. So you reach, make yourself as long as possible, and hold that position. And honestly, 20 seconds of that is a lot. You're definitely going to feel it. You probably start shaking, and that's normal. That's okay. And then you just hold that. So all the other exercises I mentioned, they would be more for reps. Let's say you do 10 to 15 of them, but the hollow body hold, see if you can do 20 seconds or 30 seconds. If you feel like your lower back is coming off the floor, you are not doing it right anymore. So it's better to take a break, catch your breath, and then do it again. All right, so here are the 7 exercises. Like I said, they are also all linked in the description. So how do you then put them into your workouts? I definitely recommend that you do your bigger lifts first. For example, deadlifts, presses, pulls, whatever you're doing, that you do those first, because you use core for all of them, like I already mentioned. And you don't want to do the core specific things first and then go to big lifts while your core is already fatigued. So that's the point here. That's why you should always do the big lifts first and then do the ab stuff, direct ab stuff, like at the end of the workout. And you don't have to do all these 7. I actually don't recommend that you do all these 7. Pick 2 or 3 and do them at the end of the workout. About 10 to 15 reps, about 2 to 3 rounds, and you can do it in a circuit way. And definitely don't do it as, all 7 in one workout. It's also going to be a really long workout if you already lifted before that. And if you do them the right way, you realize that you don't have to do like too many different things at all. Like I said, pick 2 or 3. And when you do them slowly, you do them in a controlled way, you really feel the muscle, you're definitely going to see the benefits. And just like with everything, you have to be consistent with it. So if your core is something that you really have to you want to work on, you want to get it stronger, maybe want to get it leaner, then definitely at least 2 or 3 days a week, you should be incorporating these exercises into your workout routine. All right, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if it was, and if you have any other questions about any like specific body part, any specific muscle group that you want to work on. Other than that, thanks so much for watching and listening, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.